Flash has quite a few drawing tools available to you, and you can also draw in other applications and bring those images into Flash. But for those of you who want to create your content within the environment itself, let's go ahead and start out with the line tool. The line tool can be changed as far as the thickness of the stroke, and you can also change the color of the line by clicking on the swatch here. So let's go ahead and choose a blue color, and we'll keep the thickness at 1 point, but you can always change the thickness of the line with the slider here or by clicking in this field and entering a number. You can also change the type of stroke you're going to draw with, such as a ragged one here, or solid, and you can also use the line. So we're going to keep it at solid, and you can also choose custom. So you can change the type of line that you're going to draw with and change the parameters. Okay, sharp corners, you can change it wavy, flat, short, and so on and so forth. So you have a lot of options with a lot of the tools here. So for now, we're going to keep it on the blue 1 point solid. And I'm going to just click and drag my mouse. Click and drag, click and drag, click and drag. And what you have here is 4 lines, but you also have a now solid shape within those 4 lines. And I can fill that with whatever the current fill color is. And in this case, the fill color is a light blue, which is also indicated down here. So if I select the paint bucket and I click within these 4 lines, I can give that a fill. I can also get rid of these extra line bits here by clicking on one at a time, like so. And now you have created a polygon. I go ahead and delete that by selecting it all. I also have my pen tool here. And when you're using the pen tool, you might want to make sure you have no fill when you're doing that. And to do that, you can either change the color of the fill to the same color as the stroke, or you can also turn off the fill altogether by clicking on the bucket in the toolbar and then turning the fill off. So I can click, move my mouse, and click again to create a solid line. But if I want to create a curve, I can click and drag my mouse. Click and drag, click and drag, click and drag. And you'll notice that when I landed back on this first point, I received a little circle. So now I can fill that in. The pen tool, of all the tools, is the one that takes the most time to get used to. So once again, I'm just going to show you how this works. You click and you move your mouse without dragging, and you click again to draw a simple line. So if I want to do a zigzag, I click, 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 like so. But if I wish to create curves, I click, don't drag, move the mouse, but this time you're going to click, hold the mouse down, and then drag. And the curve always goes in the opposite direction that you drag in. So if I drag to the right, the curve goes to the left. If I drag up, the curve goes down, and so on. And that takes a little getting used to. Just practice on your own when you have time, and after a while you'll be able to tell where to click and drag to get the shape you're looking for. Now watch the icon here of the mouse. If I move it to the very beginning point, the same point where I started the drawing, I get this little circle, which means if I click here, the shape is now closed, which means I can now color it in. Okay? Now, evidently I missed it when I did that, so I'm just going to move this over here manually, and I can color it in. And that's the beauty of Flash. Even if you miss and you don't exactly hit the little point where you started your drawing, you can always manually move it and then fill it in yourself. Now we also have some other tools here. We have our oval tool, and the oval tool will be filled in with whatever color you select down here, and this will be the stroke. So if you want to have an outline, which is called the stroke, you can select the color here. If not, you choose the no stroke option, and that gets rid of the stroke, which is indicated by the red line. So I can go ahead and draw without a stroke, and I can go ahead and draw with a stroke. And I can change that stroke at any time by clicking here. Alright. We also have our other fill tools. We have our rectangle tool and we have our polystar tool. So if I use the rectangle tool, I can go ahead and draw rectangles with the same fill and stroke. I can also draw with the Polystar tool. And the Polystar tool gives me these little polygons here, but I can change that by going to Options and changing the polygon to a star. And I can also change the number of the sides of that star, like so. So you have a lot of cool stuff to play with. You also have your pencil tool, when you can draw freehand. And depending on the options down here that you select, you can either draw with a line that will automatically straighten itself, like this, or a line that will automatically smooth itself out, or a line that will draw exactly what you draw and not do anything to it but anti-alias it. Okay, so let me go ahead and clear some of this out so you can see a little bit more easily what I'm doing. So if I draw with the pencil tool with the ink effect here, and I go like this, it will just smooth it out so that it's anti-aliased or not jaggy. Okay. We also have our paintbrush tool, and we have other options available to us, so we can just go ahead and paint with whatever colors down here. And we can also change how that works as well, the size of the brush, and also the shape of the brush. So you get this nice calligraphy thing going on. Okay. And those are the drawing tools.